Welcome back to Seeking the Sacred. The next video in this series is about the Sun card and also the card known as the Lovers. The next two cards are unique in the film, which is why I've put them together in one video. The thing that makes them unique is the fact that both of these cards take place in more than one scene. But it's not like the card takes place twice, it's that the card is split. The symbolism of the card is split, and it only appears partially in one scene and partially in another scene. And it's amazing. And I need to just describe it to you because it's hard to fathom exactly what I'm saying without me explaining it. So I'll do the best I can. So with the Sun card, if you're familiar with the Sun card in the Rider-Waite deck, you'll know that it is depicted as a baby sitting atop a horse in the bright sunshine, super happy. But if you've seen James Cameron's Avatar, you'll know that there is no scene in that film where there's a baby on a horse. It just doesn't happen. This is a problem, right? The closest we get to the Sun card is the scene where Neytiri is teaching Jake for the first time. It's when, she's just been tasked with teaching him the Na'vi ways, and then we have a scene where all of a sudden they're standing next to a horse and she's saying, like, feel the strong legs, listen to the breath of the horse. And then he's basically in the pose of the Sun card. He's all happy. It's the bright sunshine. He's on a horse. It's 2/3 of the Sun card. The thing that's not there is that he's not a baby. And this is an issue, right? We could say that he's in child mind because in a previous scene he has said, I'm an empty cup, when the high priestess said, it's hard to fill a cup that's already full. And he was like, well, I'm an empty cup, We could say that he's in child mind and that he's an empty cup. That's part of it, maybe. But this is where it gets really interesting. The scene that Jake and Neytiri have spent together just previous to this, right? The scene where he's like saying, like, hey, I need your help. I'm lost in the forest and everything. And she keeps turning around to him. What does she keep saying to him? She keeps saying, you're like a baby. Don't know what to do. Making noise. You're like a baby, right? This is a subliminal which is front-loading the audience. Jake is like a baby. Jake is like a baby. Jake is like a baby. Then the next scene that we see Neytiri and Jake in together, he's on top of a horse in the bright sunshine, in the Sun card pose. Because this is the Sun card. Now the Lovers card is where Jake and Neytiri make love under the Tree of Souls. And there's a similarity with the Sun card. Because if we look closely at the Lovers card in the Rider-Waite deck, we see two lovers. We see that they have trees behind them and everything. But we also see this deity behind those lovers in the card. And we could say, well, that's the Tree of Souls. But that's only part of it. Similar to with the Sun card, that's only part of it. The thing that completes the Lovers card is in the next scene that Neytiri and Jake have together, right? With the Sun card, it's like, it was actually the previous scene that Neytiri and Jake have together that completes the scene where he's on the horse. With the Lovers card, it's actually the scene after they're making love under the Tree of Souls, where then Neytiri says something in the next scene that completes it. So in the next scene after they make love under the Tree of Souls, they're at Home Tree, and Sute says, are you mated with this woman? Right? And Neytiri's mom says, is this true? And Neytiri stops and she says, We are mated before Ewa. Well, look again at the Lover's card. The deity behind them is supposed to be the goddess of nature, which is basically Ewa. So when Neytiri says we are mated before Ewa, she's saying we are a complete lover's card in the tarot. We were there in the Garden of Eden, basically, under the Tree of Souls, and Ewa, the goddess of nature, was witnessing us in our lovemaking, because this is the Lover's card. If you enjoyed this video, please remember to give it a thumbs up and share it with your friends. If you want to see other videos like this, then remember to hit the subscribe button and turn on notifications. Also, let me know what you think in the comments. Did I get it right? Did I miss something? Leave me a comment below.